Hello, welcome to Eye on Africa here on France 24. I'm Yuko Itade. Let's take a look at the stories making headlines around the continent. Schools shutter across Bukavu, fear and panic spreading among residents there as M23 edges closer. The Rwandan-backed rebels advancing towards the town after seizing parts of Goma in a bloody offensive. Hopes for peace are high ahead of this weekend's summit in Tanzania. Both Rwanda's President Paul Kagame and his Congolese counterpart will be in attendance, marking the first time the two leaders will engage in direct talks since the resurgence of the conflict. It's great to have you with us. Let's start in Bukavu in the east of the DRC, where schools have closed their doors as the threat of M23's advance looms. The key town is in the Rwandan-backed rebels' sights after they seized parts of Goma in neighbouring North Kivu province in a bloody offensive. Around 3,000 people have been killed and many more displaced as M23 battles Congolese forces. While fresh diplomatic efforts to achieve peace are getting underway this weekend in Tanzania, both Rwanda's President Paul Kagame and his Congolese counterpart Felix Tshisekedi are gearing up to attend the summit in Dar es Salaam. While Tshisekedi will be appearing via video link, the meeting brings together two regional blocs, the East African Community and the South African Development Community. It will be the first time Kagame and Tshisekedi engages in direct talks since the resurgence of the conflict. Emily Ball takes a look ahead at the summit.
In Tanzania, the joint summit began in a solemn atmosphere. Announced on February 3rd by Kenyan President William Ruto, it brings together the community of East African states and the Southern African Development Community. The aim of the conference is to align the policies of the two blocs concerning the M23 rebel group's offensive on Goma in the DRC.
We are the voice of the women and children of Eastern DRC, as well as the various troops out there in the field. We have therefore a familial duty to appeal to the hearts of the parties to the conflict to give peace a chance.
Both wish to avoid a regional escalation, as mentioned on Friday by the High Commissioner for Human Rights, Volker Turk.
The risk of escalating violence throughout the sub-region has never been higher. All those with influence over the parties involved must redouble their efforts to avert conflagration and support peace processes.
The stakes are high, since the two organizations have different views on how to resolve the conflict. While the EAC advocates for direct negotiations between the Congolese government and the M23 rebels, Congolese President Felix Tshisekedi doesn't want to hear any of it. Kinshasa has recently replaced the EAC peacekeeping force in the DRC with that of the SADC.
The meetings for the next 2 days should yield very tangible and progressive solutions with clear deliverables and associated implementation plans.
Most of the region's heads of state will be present. Rwandan President Paul Kagame has confirmed he will be in Dar es Salaam on Saturday. His Congolese counterpart, Felix Tshisekedi, will attend the meeting online.
Well, the Congolese president has made no secret of what he's hoping to get out of the summit. Among some of Tshisekedi's key demands are an immediate ceasefire and the unconditional withdrawal of M23 and its Rwandan allies. It's not clear if Kigali will be willing to make those concessions, but among Goma's residents, expectations for peace are high, as Emmett Livingstone explains.
It's a make-or-break moment, and the Congolese government is waiting for a firm response from its regional allies. M23 rebels and Rwandan troops are continuing their offensive in South Kivu province, only just after capturing the major city of Goma. The government in Kinshasa is hoping that leaders from southern African countries, as well as eastern African countries, will call for an immediate ceasefire when they convene. Kinshasa is also hoping for a regional demand for the withdrawal of Rwandan troops from Congo. Sanctions against Rwanda are also on the wish list, but this option is unlikely. In Goma, the M23 is installing a parallel government, and residents are just hoping for a return to normality.
If our presidents, whether they be Kagame, Ruto, Tshisekedi, or Lourenço or Ramaphosa, if all these people could privilege the protection of the lives of citizens, it would be better. Weapons have shown their limits, and weapons do not impose eternal peace. Lasting peace comes from dialogue. We need to dialogue.
We just need peace. If I express myself, if I speak too much, tears will flow. All that I can hope from this meeting they're going to have over there is that they'll just bring us peace.
Another issue that Congo is hoping to raise is the reopening of the airport in Goma, which is a crucial supply route for international aid. Humanitarian needs are enormous, with hospitals overwhelmed by patients injured in the fighting, as well as shortages of medicines. Hundreds of bodies are also still waiting to be buried, increasing the risk of disease.
Shifting gears now, in Nigeria, the Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives has appealed to President Bola Tinubu to call for the release of Nnamdi Kanu, the leader of the proscribed indigenous people of Biafra. The Speaker, Benjamin Kalu, says freeing Kanu could help in reducing violence in the southeast of Nigeria. Kanu has been in detention since June on terrorism and treason charges for his activism calling for a separate state for Nigeria's ethnic Igbo people. Let's go to Senegal now, where wheat and rice dominates the country's diet. These imported grains often replace traditional crops. But now some Senegalese are hoping to reconnect with their culinary roots. Fonio is a grain known for its nutritional value, and it's re-emerging as the rich alternative. Once little known in cities of Western Senegal, it's now making its way back into recipes and kitchens. Caitlin Kelly has more from Senegal.
At this agricultural cooperative near Salemata in southeastern Senegal, the grain Fonio is undergoing a transformation. Thanks to a modern 5-step system, a process that once required days of manual labor now takes just 30 minutes to produce 50 kilos of the cereal.
We used to eat fonio, but we didn't really know how to prepare or use it properly. Now it brings us a lot of benefits, both in terms of nutrition and as a business.
In this region, which borders 2 other major fonio producers, Mali and Guinea, the grain has been identified as a key component of food security. NGO SOS Sahel has been supporting farmers with agricultural equipment to help boost production.
We now have up to 2,000 farmers involved, and demand keeps growing. Since fonio is a rare grain with a short growth cycle, it gives farmers who've run out of their stored harvests something to rely on, especially during the more difficult seasons.
Since the colonial period, when the French imported broken rice from Indochina, Senegal has remained dependent on rice imports. But now local fonio is becoming increasingly popular in part of the country's west. Diariatu, a Malian student and restaurant owner, has lived in Senegal for 16 years and has made fonio her speciality. Selling online, her fonio-based dishes are in high demand in Dakar, due in part to the grain's nutritional properties.
Fonio has a lot of health benefits, especially for digestion. It's rich in calcium, magnesium, iron, and vitamins B1 and 2. It's also gluten-free, which is great for people with gluten intolerance and for diabetics. It's an excellent choice.
At around 2,000 CFA francs per kilo, 4 times the price of rice, fonio still remains a luxury for many in Senegal.
Well, that's it from all of us on the Eye on Africa team. Thanks so much for your company, and do stay tuned to France 24. There's plenty more to come.